Okay, it's matchup time. It is matchup time. I'm sorry. I don't know how efficient this is going to be. I don't know if I rushed anything, but matchups are underway. It is Thursday. Hopefully, this gets in before the Thursday night game kicks off. That's my goal as of right now. So please bear with me. I'm trying my best. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go without further ado. I'm going to start with myself versus Allen. I'm thinking that this is the least exciting matchup. We know the story. If you want to play Allen Williams, you need him in September. Do not meet him in December. But I got to be honest, even the master plan, as you will, Allen, that you're putting together here, I'm not a big fan of. I told you that after the draft. I don't even know. I think the only guy that I think you're swapping in and out, I don't know why you're tinkering. Olave and Garrett Wilson, I guess, could be garbage time or shootout potential with Olave, I guess, because I don't know. I feel like that Atlanta game could be sneaky good or it could be like really, really bad. Um, I think Baltimore trounces the Jets. Sorry to say it, but there could be garbage time for Garrett Wilson. Anyway, I'm looking at all these things that you have, Mr. Williams, and I think Rodgers has potential to go off against Minnesota. I like Chase a lot against Pittsburgh. Devonta Smith is an X factor for you in this game. Breece Hall and Michael Carter together. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I think this backfield, if it's split, has potential to be Aaron Jones. No, more like Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott. I won't go Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, but I think that's the potential it has, but not right away. Isaiah Likely by default might be the number 3 option, and I actually don't mind the waiver bid that you put in for there. I mean, Baltimore always is going to run extra tight end sets. My only concern though is I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to have to throw to pass with this. The running backs all dinged up and whatnot. Olave, we'll see what his role is. I think he's going to be a deep threat situational guy early on. Garrett Wilson, love the potential. I don't know if he's going to click very well with Joe Flacco right away, though. Um, the guys on your bench, Montgomery could get a lot of volume that does nothing. That's going to be him all season long. Josh Jacobs, same thing. Sky Moore is in a shootout, but I think he's way down in the pecking order. He might be the number 4 or 5 option in that offense. It's concerning because he was with the second team, and these other guys you're not putting in because they're hurt. No pun intended. Jalen Hurts. I like him a lot against Detroit. I think Devonta Smith might be a really good number 2 wide receiver. Allen, I don't think he's anywhere close to being a number 1. I was not on that after college, and it wasn't even just his size. If he was running crisp routes, but it was all go routes, I'm not into that. I think Devonta Smith is so much better as a 2 than he is a 1. Mike Williams, I like a lot against the Vegas Raiders. DJ Moore, every time I log on to Twitter, it's fantasy is going to say bold prediction. He's a top 5 wide receiver this year for fantasy. I mean, we'll see. I'm not that big on DJ Moore. Top 10, I could see. I don't know about top 5. Against Cleveland, too, Denzel Ward had a really nice bounce back season last year. I don't know if he's going to shadow DJ Moore. We'll see if that continues. DeAndre Swift against Philadelphia. It's the definition of 8 carries for 30 yards, but then we'll get like 5 catches for 60 and a touchdown. That's the only thing I'm expecting here. I think Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift are kind of the same running back. Swift is more of the lead dog than Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones against Minnesota has always been known to have great games. Abadakui Booneman and Isaiah Likely, I think both coin tosses for touchdowns. Rashad Bateman against the Jets. I know people are stressing out about Sauce Gardner. Rightfully so, I get it, but Bateman looked practically unguardable last year. I hate using that word, but yeah. Elijah Moore. I like me some Elijah Moore. I think he really has a big game with Joe Flacco throwing him the ball, and I love the Denver defense. Allen, I just even realized you don't even have a defense put in, buddy. There's a lot of options, though. I don't predict who's going to win my game, but Allen would need a 4 touchdown game from Rodgers, a 2+ touchdown game from both Chase and Devonta Smith to really have an edge in this one. I think the sad thing is Alan, I know if you want to get hyped up because I know you're going to be talking a lot of smack. This reminds me a lot of, oh, and it wasn't your team, it was reverse. Morris had actually, yeah, Matt Morris had actually took a look at our draft board, and he said that the Morris team from 2019, which would have been Hollywood Brown's rookie year, he said that this Allen team reminds everybody a lot of him because he took a lot of backs that nobody wanted, and it was just Hollywood Brown, a rookie receiver that everybody's like, you're starting this guy in an offense that doesn't throw a lot, and he went off against you week one. I can see that a little bit because the guys that you took do have potential to take the top off of the defense. I'm not going to lie about that. But regardless, we'll see what happens. I'm speed rounding through this because I had a lot to do, obviously. Next matchup we're going to call right now is my man Rob Coffey taking on B Magic. The projections are very close on this one, 118 to 116. I like this a lot. I think there are a lot of interesting options that are being thrown in here. It's week one. Let's go. Right off the bat, I do think that the way these two teams are constructed, it's a lot differently. I think that B Magic wanted to secure his workhorse running backs, rightfully so. And then took the value at receiver. And I think a lot of people who are drafting this year really wanted that strategy. And I think B Magic did a pretty good job of that. Let's get started. Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr are both in potential shootouts. But I think Mahomes against Arizona, I think that game in the desert, both teams should easily put up over 30 plus. Both defenses have been downgraded severely too. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes, although I think Derek Carr is going to be really nice. Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle. It's good to see Jalen Waddle off the injury report, or Michael Pittman and T. Higgins. The good thing is this. Now, I don't know if they can do it anymore, but I want to start with, because we know Jefferson's going to eat. Jalen Waddle, I think, is going to eat in this game. First of all, he did amazing against New England last year. Second of all, Bill Belichick is going to want to take out the one guy that can beat you deep and not beat you for a touchdown. That's going to be Tyreek Hill. I think the Jalen Waddle pick will look very good in this week because he is going, and it's Tua. Jalen Waddle's stat line could look something like it was last year, which was like 10 catches for 88 yards and a coin flip for a touchdown, and you'll be happy with that in a half PPR. Michael Pittman and T. Higgins. So the thing I want to talk about right now is I think Michael Pittman breakout is waiting to happen. I did see though that there's a very hot take out there about Michael Pittman last year and Carson Wentz, which I think Coffey's gonna love what I'm about to say. I don't know about B Magic. I don't buy it, to be honest. But somebody said the reason that Michael Pittman was so good last year, that Carson Wentz was so bad last year, and he just has a tendency to just chuck it and lock in the one guy. I think Pittman is an alpha receiver waiting to happen. If he didn't show it last year, I think the guy is awesome. It's against the Houston Texans. Nobody's stressing that matchup. So Michael Pittman, yeah, you can sign me up for Michael Pittman in this one. Will he have enough to cancel out Justin Jefferson? Michael Pittman would need at least 2 touchdowns to do that because we know Justin Jefferson is going to go over 100 and probably a touchdown against Green Bay. Which then comes down to T. Higgins. I had T. Higgins his rookie year, and I liked him a lot. He's battled through some injuries. T. Higgins, it's a shame because I feel like it's easier to predict a guy who's an alpha receiver and then the slot receiver on their team, like the Mike Williams and the Keenan Allen. T. Higgins doesn't play slot though. He's another outside guy with Jamar Chase, so it's really hard. Like T. Higgins to me, I feel like is more of a high end like tight end, which is a touchdown. And could it happen? Yes. Can it score against a really crappy like Pittsburgh is good in the front in the trenches. They are not very good in the back end, with the exception of Minka Fitzpatrick. And if they're going to use Minka to take the top over the defense for Jamar Chase, I think T. Higgins could definitely benefit from that. I'm actually still siding with the Coffey side for this. I think Jefferson goes off, and Jalen Waddle just might be very, very safe but awesome at the same time. This is a slam dunk here, though. I got to give Najee and Nick Chubb, even though I don't like them long term in this matchup, they win the running back for B Magic. Cole Kmet, very nice value pick, or Darren Waller. The only reason you drafted a Bears offensive player is because you're hoping for garbage time because they are not a good offensive team. Cole Kmet, you know, Jimmy Graham is finally out of the way. He can finally play the full-time role. He looks the part too. I remember watching him in that Pittsburgh game, and I finally was like, okay, this guy is actually showing something. He's not just a guy who's going to catch 3 catches, 40 yards every week and no touchdown. The breakout is ascending. I don't know if it happens against San Francisco. Darren Waller against the Chargers. I think this is a guy that I am fading as well. Against Derwin James, I don't like Waller is the one guy I didn't want from this offense, and I'm a big Darren Waller fan. I just think with Devontae Adams there, it's what's his target share going to look like? Derek Carr, realistically, yes, he could throw 40 to 50 times a game, but ugh, I don't know. Darren Waller might be in that middle tier of tight ends. I don't think he's no longer in the elite class like where Pitts was this year. I don't think he's in that class anymore. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go draw. I don't have a strong lean on either of these guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Allen Robinson tonight, or Adam Thielen and Amari Cooper. Well, Allen Robinson, I don't know what's going on. I haven't looked. This is my apologies because I'm known as Mr. Football, and I don't even know if Tre'Davious White is playing or suiting up. If Tre'Davious White does play, though, I think Allen Robinson is going to get the sacrificial lamb. They don't have Tre'Davious White travel in the slot, so Cooper Kupp's going to eat. I don't think Allen Robinson does much in this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is a guy I think is going to benefit whether it's garbage time or not. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jalen Waddle are kind of the same guy in a way. They're going to get a lot of catches. They play the slot. Um, I think Jalen Waddle is more of an elite prospect by a mile. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, though, at the same time, he's meh. I don't know how I feel about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like long term, I think short term in this matchup, he's going to be good. Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper. Look, Adam Thielen, it's a touchdown or bust. I'm going to say he doesn't get there. Amari Cooper, with Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball, no thank you. So by default, I like Amon-Ra. Got to give it to Rob Coffey. And then I'm going to take the San Francisco defense against the Chicago Bears. And with that being said, I think week one winner, I just think there's a lot of firepower here. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle in a possible matchup. The only way B Magic can defeat Rob Coffey is Nick Chubb and Najee Harris have to get close to 20 points because I do think that's going to limit the damage with the Justin Jefferson outburst, with the Patrick Mahomes outburst. But if these running backs only get 10 to 15, I don't think it's going to be enough firepower in this one. I'm going to call it like I see it. I think Rob Coffey wins 128 to B Magic, who puts up a respectable 119. I gotta be honest, and harsh, I know you're probably gonna know this. I can't remember a time where Johnny and Harsh opened up the season in week one for opening kickoff. It's weird because I've never seen that before. It's usually Harsh and Allen or like Harsh and something like I've never seen Harsh and Johnny kick off. This might be history in the making, and it's funny because we've been in this league forever. Harsh, if you're listening, I'm gonna go off topic. Uh, the dynasty league, yeah, it's not a very good dynasty team. I understand, but we're just gonna keep building the defense every single year, and we're gonna scrap pieces for. I don't even know what's going on with dynasty, to be honest. Harsh, sorry about that. Anyway, Harsh, you know this is the one league I do care about. This is the ultimate prize. This is fantasy football, both two. Anyway, um, Russell Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry. Johnny and Harsh's team. Johnny's team, man, the projections are very high on you, and that's because of the three elite running backs that you took very early on. Let's get it started in here. Russell Wilson at Seattle has potential to just crap all over Seattle, but I honestly think that Lamar Jackson is the better bet and better play in here because I'll tell you why. There are no running backs, which means that the rushing touchdowns are going through one man only, Lamar Jackson. And when you can't run the ball, you got to throw the ball. I am still not a believer that Lamar Jackson is an excellent quarterback, but I do think he has the best receiver he's played with in his career in Rashad Bateman. I also think that he can also rely on Mark Andrews. So I do think that if you believe that Marquise Brown had a breakout year, I think that Rashad Bateman can have a breakout year. And I know they don't want to say it. Lamar's going to have to run a lot more in this game because there's no running backs. Russell Wilson, I think the problem with Russell Wilson is he's very touchdown dependent now. He doesn't throw for a lot of yardage. There's a lot of games where you're going to get under 300 yards passing, but you might get 2 to 3 touchdowns. And I think that's what you're seeing here. I think Russ throws for maybe 250 and 3 touchdowns, does not turn over the ball because it's Seattle, but I think Lamar can combine for 4 touchdowns. Give me Lamar. Brandon Cooks and Cortland Sutton, Michael Thomas and Darnell Mooney. Well, here's the thing. Cortland Sutton has not looked the same for 2 years, but that was also playing with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. And for what Cortland Sutton likes to do, Russell Wilson is the guy to unlock that. And if we don't see anything week one, yikes. Okay, I'm not going to say panic, but we're already in the yellow because Sutton was awesome in 2019, but he hasn't regained that form. But people are saying 2 years off an ACL injury, maybe he's fully recovered from that because we know damn well that Teddy Bridgewater didn't overuse his knee last year. Brandon Cooks, he's just one of these boring guys I can't get behind. Nobody was excited to draft Brandon Cooks last year, and now this guy's price was inflated into the fourth, fifth round, wherever Harsh took him. I don't even know. I'm not about Brandon Cooks at all. I think he can be fine with Davis Mills, but realistically, what are you getting? I think that Brandon Cooks is a boring play here. Speaking of boring, Michael Thomas. Look, I am willing to be wrong on Michael Thomas, but if I'm Johnny, if I'm going to knock Harsh on 2 years of Cortland Sutton not looking good, I got to say the same with Michael Thomas, and he's already dealt with an injury. People are saying it's nothing. Yeah, we heard that the last year too. I'm not buying it. Oh, not to mention the fact you got the best corner in the league. Harsh, I'm sorry, but I had to say it. Darnell Mooney, on the other hand, might be garbage time king the whole season. I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to have to go to the Russell Wilson Cortland Sutton connection. I'm going to give the edge to Harsh. Tony Pollard and Cam Akers versus Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley. Hold that thought. And now my thought is back. I'm gonna have to go with Cook and Barkley, and I don't like Saquon Barkley long term. Look, I wish the guy was good, but I think the Giants should have traded him. Like the line is a little bit better, I get it, but receivers are dinged up. Brian Daboll would really have to honestly, if Barkley looks good, I'm giving the credit to Daboll. I am not giving the credit to Saquon Barkley. I think he's great, but I mean, this guy hasn't done much of anything the last few years. I think talent-wise, if you give him an offensive line, he would be our generation's LaDainian Tomlinson, maybe even Adrian Peterson. But He just hasn't been able to get it done. He just has not been able to get it done. Dalvin Cook against Green Bay, Johnny, you'll be fine. Harsh, you've got a lot of people on your team that opening day could either make you feel very happy to be an owner of, or you can start getting a heart attack, aka Cam Akers. Well, I'm gonna flat out say it. Harsh, if you had told me that there was no injury designation with Cam Akers, I probably would have taken this man in the third and probably would have went Diggs in the second. It was baffling to me that he was priced in the third round. And I think a lot of the sharps were completely off of him. A lot of the squares thought they were getting a good deal. Well, we'll see. My issue is the Achilles injury. He was rushed back. If you had told me Cam Akers didn't come back last season at all and wanted to rest up, I would be 10,000% in on Cam Akers, and I probably would have taken him in the second round. I am a little bit worried that he tried to show out, and I honestly do freaking believe that if a cat has 9 lives and Cam Akers is a cat, he's already used up 8 lives. If this man gets hit or if he's on the injury report again, I'm worried that it could be catastrophic and potentially career ender. I love the talent of Cam Akers. You know I do because I drafted him in his rookie year. They should have not rushed him back. They should have sat his ass down. They had Darrell Henderson and Sony Michel was very capable last year. There was no need to put in Cam Akers. I think it's more of that's McVay's guy. He wants to stick it to everybody and say, hey, this is the guy I wanted. He was my guy. But you're not winning the running back battle, bro. Tony Pollard against Tampa Bay, even if he gets catches, it's not going to be enough. Kyle Pitts or Dalton Schultz, give me the tight end one this year. Kyle Pitts. Javonte Williams, you know I have to do it. Antonio Gibson. I think both these men, hot take alert, hot take alert, hot take alert. Javonte Williams and Antonio Gibson will combine for 40 fantasy points easily. Book it. Harsh, you heard it here first. Put it in your phone right now. And Harsh, when are we going to trade for Antonio Gibson? Because I'm sick of it. Because you know I was the first one on this man. And you just happened to pick before me. Alvin Kamara and Alan Lazard. No, thank you. I'm going to go with the combination in the flex. Cincy at Pitt or Baltimore against the Jets. Baltimore can get a lot of sacks. They might give up points later on, though, which wouldn't be enough to cost. Well, the X factor, Cam Akers is number one for Harsh. If Cam Akers looks like the guy you wanted to draft, congratulations, you might have an RB1. But, my friend, if Cam Akers does not look anything like that and looks like he was in a playoff stretch, you're getting essentially Peyton Barber the whole season. Cam Akers needs to ball out. I honestly, the first game of the season does not determine a lot, but I think with Johnny's running backs, I think it has a lot to say. I think Cam Akers needs to score a touchdown for Harsh to get some breathing room, but I love the pieces that Harsh has built around this team, which was the reason why it was okay to trade out of the first round. Um, I think Lamar is the highest scoring player here for sure. I then will go out on a limb. No, it's not even a limb. I think Dalvin Cook will be the second most, and then third most. Probably not counting Russell Wilson. I'll say Kyle Pitts and Cortland Sutton. I have made my decision. I think this Harsh team blows up week one. The only player that I think will not hit double digits on this roster is Tony Pollard to start. But I do think that this could be a sign of things to come. I don't know long term if this team will put up a lot of firepower, but that 119, I think Harsh smashes that. I'm going to say 148 to Johnny's 1. You'll beat your projection, 129. Alex Matika versus David Krier. I'm just going to speed through this really quickly. Give me Josh Allen over Justin Herbert, even though both are amazing. Josh Allen, I think, you know, week 1 last year, Josh Allen laid an egg. I don't think he lays an egg this year, man. I'm all in on that. CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown versus Stephon Diggs or Hunter Renfrow. Diggs, I think a lot of people are worried about Ramsey. Ramsey is kind of slowly decreasing now, so I'm not worried about him. CeeDee Lamb, is he the number one? Is he a number one? We'll find out. A.J. Brown certainly is a number one, though, and that is a grown-ass man. A.J. Brown will score a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, I don't know if he'll score a touchdown. Hunter Renfrow won't score. No. I'm going A.J. Brown. I think, who has the potential to score 2 touchdowns? That's my tiebreaker. I think it's A.J. Brown because of the Detroit Lions matchup. Austin Eckler, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Joe Mixon, James Conner. Okay, we've got a really interesting running back battle. Joe Mixon ate up Pittsburgh last year. Austin Eckler, should have never happened, but you have him, and he's in a great spot yet again. I love Austin Eckler in this matchup. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and James Conner. Well, they're both going up against each other. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on a short leash. James Conner, for right now, is going to, quote unquote, be the guy to start off. We'll see if it lasts all season. I'm actually going to lean the David Krier scenario here. George Kittle or Mark Andrews. Give me Mark Andrews. That was incredible value. And it's against the Jets. He'll probably score a touchdown. Devin Singletary. Devin Duvernay is projected 13 points. Are we reading this correctly? Yes, we are. Devontae Parker. Yeah, Damian Harris. Both New England guys against Miami. I'm not big on it. I like Singletary, and I don't like Duvernay, but I really hate Damian Harris and Devontae Parker. Buffalo or New England. It's a wash. I'm not big on either of these defenses. I gotta be honest. I don't know. I guess it's because he's on return yards. But God Almighty, 13 points. Devin Duvernay is projected as a freaking wide receiver 1. This guy doesn't even catch anything. Uh, Regardless, I'm gonna go Alex. I just think that A.J. Brown could single-handedly make you win this week, considering everybody else does their job. Like Belichick said, do your job. The Return of the King versus another king, King Henry, Riding Henry. I like this matchup a lot. We are going to see fireworks in this one. Trey Lance versus Joe Burrow. Trey Lance, okay, this is an easy matchup. Even if the guy can't throw for 40 yards down, or no, he can chuck a ball, but if he can't throw it, he can run for 100. Trey Lance, I think, will outproduce Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow will still be okay, but give me Trey Lance. Hollywood Brown and Gabe Davis versus Mike Evans and Juju Smith-Schuster. Evans and Schuster are in very good matchups, and they could go off, but so can Marquise Brown and Gabe Davis. And honestly, based on the matchups alone, I think I'd be more terrified of Marquise Brown and Gabe Davis. Kansas City was atrocious at the back end last year. Marquise Brown could probably blow right by them. Speaking of, Gabe Davis tonight will score a touchdown. You can definitely book that. He might even score the first touchdown, dare I say so. He is a animal. So with that being said, Marquise Brown and Gabe Davis over Mike Evans and Juju Smith-Schuster, even though those guys will be just fine. McCaffrey and Fournette or Elliott and Henry, this is by default. Elliott's going against Tampa. Elliott has not looked that good. Give me Fournette and Christian McCaffrey. Dallas Goedert, like I said, he is probably my number 3 tight end this year. I will take Dallas Goedert over Dawson Knox. Jerry Judy or the Brandon Ayuk Trey Lance connection. I really like if it hits. Oh God, no. Okay, yeah, dude. I'm sorry, Pat. DK Metcalf and Rashad Penny won't do anything against that Denver D. Ask Big Mesh what I think about Denver D. Jerry Judy. Ugh. You know how I feel about Judy. I'm not big on him. This is a good matchup, though. If he doesn't do anything in this matchup, you might as well just cut him, David. Brandon Ayuk, love him. Love him, love him, love him, love him. I think the only, like, I don't know if you feel confident with Brandon Ayuk alone, but, like, pairing him up with Trey Lance, like, you just have so much confidence. That was one affordable stack that I really wanted. And David, I think a lot of people don't understand this, but I'm going to give you some props here, buddy. If you're stacking quarterback and receiver, you always stack the deep threat with the quarterback that you have or a guy that can go deep. You never want to stack the possession guys because they don't get touchdowns. Sorry, I just needed to throw that out there as I sip my tea. Indy D against Tennessee D. Give me Indy D, even though the Giants are a freaking mess. Are we happy? I think we're happy. Considering I didn't give the edge to Patrick in any of these, but it is going to be close. Patrick, I think you were the victim of a lot of like very good performances last year that you lost, and I think the same is going to be said here. I think this David team, David, if I'm not mistaken, I think I predicted you last year as the highest scoring team in Week 1. Guess what, buddy? I think you get that award again. David Sutton, 168 to Ryden Henry's 132.